What's going on, you guys? It's your Huggable Hipster here, and welcome back to the channel. It's time for some lore and theory crafting videos, some psychology. There's just going to be a hodgepodge of a lot of stuff going on today. I know this video is out a little bit later. It has been absolutely chaotic so far, starting off the Monday really busy. I have a review coming out at the end of this week, Grand Theft Auto 5. That game was... Whoa, it was intense. I know I look over dramatized, but it was wow. That video is going to be coming out Saturday, and there will be no video on Wednesday. Now that the house cleaning stuff is out of the way, let's get into the video. Today we're going to be discussing some theory crafting, some lore, some psychology on the Maiden in Black from Demon Souls. Now the origin of the Black Maiden is never explained. She's always been with the Nexus, but before that, she was one of the most powerful of the Old One's demons. It's not known why she does not side with it, and the Maiden allows the player to strengthen themselves by touching the demon within her to consume the power of souls. It's really fascinating because I've talked about this concept before in another, I think it was a psychologically gaming video, of where the Firekeeper is the extension of the person. I feel like the Maiden in Black, from my perspective, seeing how she interacts with the player throughout the game, she is the extension in a way that is more realistic of the player character. And I say more realistic, I feel like she is the bad part of what the character is. Since we have world tendency and we have different ways that we can go about going in each archstone, we can make one pure black tendency, we can make a world pure white tendency, we can do all sorts of things. We can make one a mixture of white and black tendency. But the Maiden in Black will always be a demon. Even if you try killing her within the Nexus, she just revives. But when you kill her at the very end of the game, that's how you can acquire the bad ending. After you kill her, you get the Red Eye Stone and the Beast Demon Soul. Now, the Red Eye Stone is more of a co-op tool. Now, it states here that a red soul sign is sent to other worlds, and you are summoned from those other worlds as a black phantom. In the other worlds, you wager souls in combat against the one who summoned you. And the Beast Demon Soul is a soul of the demon, the old one, that radiates tremendous power and grants the holder a large number of souls when used. More specifically, 200,000 souls. What I find interesting about these items that you get after killing the Black Maiden is that one of them is utilized for multiplayer only. And that is fascinating to me because the fact that it states here that you wager souls. You wager amongst other living beings that you can collect. What's really fascinating to me is that the Firekeeper's job is to tend to the fire, to keep it lit. That way the player character always has a safe place to come home to a degree. When you get to the bonfire, when you get to the Nexus, that's your safe haven. Nothing can damage you, nothing can touch you, nothing can happen to you at all whatsoever. But the fact that with this Firekeeper, you can kill her at the very end of the game to obtain not only something from multiplayer, but a beast demon soul worth over 200,000 souls signifies that the Maiden in Black is something more meaningful than a lot of the other Firekeepers that we've seen in Dark Souls 1, 2, or 3. Now, this is where my theory comes into play, where I believe that the Maiden in Black is the black tendency of what our player character is. So we're trying to get rid of the demons in the world. We're trying to get rid of things that create black tendency within demon souls. The Maiden in Black, to a degree, is kind of the yin to our yang. She equals us out. She is a demon, but she's kind of counteracting what we are doing. She is offering up her guidance and her care because she has a little bit of good within her as well. I know this might not make sense at first, but hear me out for a second of where we have yin and yang representation right over here. Yin and yang is a concept from Chinese philosophy that describes two opposing forces that are also interconnected. You can't have yang without yin, and you can't have yin without yang. There is so much importance to the value of you can't have the good without the evil, and vice versa. Seeing the Maiden in Black and seeing how she kind of moves in this calm kindness, but also realization that the world isn't pretty either, I think is so valuable philosophically to the entirety of the game. It's kind of a holy trinity that I see here going on that extends my theory a little bit of where we see the old one, we see our player character, and we see the Maiden in Black. Player character is trying to go throughout the world in order to create a sustainable environment that is meant to be good, that is meant to have equilibrium between good and evil and things that are just trying to exist in a sense. Now, the Old One, however, is an ancient demonic snake that is built from leaves and trees and can only temporarily be put to sleep for centuries before it awakens again. So one of two things could be possibly happening here. Whenever you see the descriptor ancient demonic snake, obviously it could be referencing something more biblical, but it also could possibly be referencing the fact that the evil in the world, the things that are demonic, the things that create consternation within the world and strife, it's as old as time. It's something that is old. That's why it's called the Old One. It says it's built from leaves and other trees. It cannot be killed because you cannot kill evil. Unfortunately, you cannot kill evil because it is like a yin and a yang. It is something that balances the good out, just like good balances out the evil. And the fact that it can only be temporarily put to rest, whether this is referencing the evil within the game or the evil within the person that we have naturally, it's one of those concepts of where you can put evil to sleep for a short period of time, but it will come back out and resurface itself again. Now, another thing, I just thought of this. It could also be discussing the concept of original sin. Let's go over to the Maiden in Black and we're going to see how all of this ties together. While she's a very interesting character, I would have loved to have her lore more so elaborated on, because it even states in the wiki page that the motivations of the Maiden in Black are not elaborated on, though she states that, though she considers the Old One and her own eternal slumber to be the proper state of things. So is she considering herself evil, that she needs to be kind of put to rest as well to make the world right because she herself is demonic? It also states here that when on the cusp of achieving this goal, she expresses deep relief. So the fact that she expresses relief, and I even remember this when playing the game, of where she expresses relief and she's like, okay, wow, like I feel like I can rest almost. So when it all boils down, we get to kind of this nice holy trinity, if you will, of characters, of where you have the Old One, who is just the prime essence of evil, the Maiden in Black, who, even though she is demonic, she helps the player character in transporting souls and using that as a vehicle to get more power, to be stronger. Since the origin of her was never really explained fully, I feel like we don't have too much to go on of how she was created or why she exists. I'm sure a lot of other fans are coming up with like different ideas and concocting other types of theories as well. But you know, when it comes to the Maiden in Black, she's not a terrible character, but she knows the reality and knows the existence and nature of the world and why it is. And then you have the player character, which they're trying to create really great tendencies, sometimes really bad tendencies, not on purpose, I promise. So even though I mainly wanted to focus on the Maiden in Black today, I kind of went all over the place with the Old One and with the player character and all that fun stuff. Because sometimes, surprisingly, whenever you try to craft a theory or whenever you look at one character, so many other characters will link with that one character. But that's it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know some of your theories of the Maiden in Black down in the comments below. But if you guys like my face and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit that bell down below. May you find your worth in the waking world, dear hunter. Stay casually nerdy, and I will see you all in the next video. Umbasa.